You've been wondering why you're here, who I am, why I'm doing this to you. So guess. If you guess right, I'll tell you. By the old gods and the new, I swear. You win the game. If you can figure out who I am and why I'm torturing you, and I win the game if you beg me to cut off your finger. You think I'm some sort of a savage? If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I win.
Welcome to this podcast.
Welcome back. It's the same different day, the podcast.
Same shit, different day, baby. What it do?
I'll tell you what, man. Today is a tough one. It's a tough one.
Couple of taps on the chin.
Yeah, there was chin checks all weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll get into our picks in a little bit. That was rough, but you'll never see me coming in here looking like that over the picks. I don't care. It's just for fun. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was just it's a tough weekend. Tough weekend in sports. Tough weekend for the people that I root for. But I guess we'll get into all that.
Yeah,
How was your weekend, though? How was it?
Hey, man, I told you we was going to ride Patty Mahomes, baby. He brought it back for me because it was a long weekend. It was a long weekend. Sunday, 3 o'clock. That 3 hours felt like more like 6.
Still not trying to get canceled. So I'm going to just let that roll. Yeah. All right. So nice transition, though. Let's get into recapping the NFL championship game weekend. We had two big games, a lot on the line, legacies. A couple guys up against the end of their career, a couple guys just coming in, making their mark. A lot of things to be said. I guess we could kick it off with Tampa Bay, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in Green Bay.
My man
against
Brady,
Aaron Rodgers.
being Brady. It was tough to watch, man. From the beginning. I spoke to you right before that game, man, and I got off the phone with you and drove home listening to it on the radio and proceeded to hear my kids chant, Brady, Brady. Yeah. You see that face? That's the same face I had. Same. Ain't no loyalty. They don't even care, bro.
That's what
they don't even care.
You know what that sounds like? Sounds like they've learned from fans of New York. Yeah, if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. Just remember that, you know?
Hey, whatever, bro.
You think it's all fun and games, but that's what I be telling you. They're young, they're impressionable, they're moldable. You got to make them stick in with something. This fans of New York thing.
Yeah, so it started off rough. But I'm saying, they actually came back. They made it a game. They made it a game. And once again, Matt LaFleur takes the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands on 4th down. You're down 8, my man. You're okay with giving Brady the ball back?
With like less than 2 minutes. I know they had 3 timeouts, and I get that that's like
it was like 2:08. It was like 2:08, and he's so smart because he took the offsides call so that he wouldn't have to burn a timeout. But you should have had the game tied. It should have been a whole and this goes way before, because as much as I'd like to blame Matt LaFleur, you could blame Aaron too. He had Lazard open instead of throwing it to my man Devontae Adams in the end zone.
Or he could have ran.
Or he could have ran that ball in.
Yeah.
Why? It was tough to watch, but even more than that, my man Kevin King, have fun looking for a new job, bro. You ain't gonna be in Green Bay no more, bro.
You
100%.
Bro, from the jump, Evan Sundom, first touchdown, prop bet. Cash it. You got Leonard Fournette running all over that boy, donkey smashing him. And then before half, you get burnt by little tiny Scotty. To get, bro, that touchdown before half that hurt. Worse than the fumbles, worse than the Aaron Jones fumbles. Come on, they lost that game. They gave that game away. They made it fun to watch for a little while. It was an expensive game to watch, I guess. But yeah, man, horrible, bro. You're down 8. You go for it on 4th down, bro.
You know, I think it's funny. It shows you the difference between like what Andy Reid did on 4th down last week compared to what LaFleur chooses to do. And you know, it's sad because you started off by saying once again, Matt LaFleur, but at the end of the day, it's almost been Rodgers' entire career. Between that potato, Mike McCarthy, that sat over there in Packer gear on the sideline for 10 years. And now this guy, I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. They have Tom Brady. Yeah. That's all that should go into your line of decision-making right there. You don't give them the ball back. I don't care how many timeouts you have. I don't care about how much you trust your defense. I respect that. But not in this situation. Because at the end of the day, superstars truly like shine and win these games. And you have Aaron Rodgers, so you keep the ball in his hand. I mean, I don't get it.
Bro, you don't make it. They've got the ball on what, the 6? Even if you don't convert the 4th down, you stop them. Y'all ain't stopped them all day. It ain't no difference between whether they get the ball at the 40 or the 6. It doesn't matter. They was throwing the ball all over you. Fournette looked like a superstar all over again. Okay. If you say so.
In case anybody hasn't noticed, my man lost some money this weekend on the Packers.
You can't lose games where Brady throws 3 interceptions, bro.
Especially in the second half.
He was just throwing the ball up there at certain points.
Imagine I could guarantee you before the game, Brady will turn over the ball 3 times. And what if I told you they'd all be in one half? I would say blowout Packers. They blow them out by far.
If you would have told me that, I would have lost even more money.
You know what? He gave them a good cushion. Brady came in and played extremely well in the first half, 3 touchdowns. Did the exact opposite in the second half to let them back in. Once again,
bro, did you see they sent the punt team out on their 4th down, Tampa? They sent their punt team out, then they called us time out, and then Brady was like, let's go. What are we doing?
I mean, you know what, though? I wonder this sometimes, right? Because, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should build yourself up to some sort of narrative to become like Terrell Owens and or like Odell Beckham Jr. and start fighting like a kicking net on the sideline. But how about like you're Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. How about, because for the first time, I want to give a different take, which nobody's giving. Everyone's going to tell you that guy took the game out of his hands, and that's true. But how about you're Aaron Rodgers and you walk over to the sideline and you say, fuck that. We're going for this. 100%. Let's go. Start getting demonstrative on the sideline. Start yelling in his face. Point your finger in his chest if you have to.
He didn't have that raw emotion all game,
never does. He never does. And you know what? One thing I'm going to say about him, because I know he's great and I get it, and I'm not here to shit on his greatness. I'm just saying. He never has, and it seems like he leaves that little built-in excuse for himself. Because you know what? For a guy who's been that great for that long, 1 championship. 1.
Yeah.
And, listen, 1 championship is great. Charles Barkley will take it. But when you start getting into the greatness, like you talk about, is Aaron Rodgers the greatest ever? Nah, if you want to be there, you have to win multiple. It's not even within the question. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys you're talking about, the Bradys with 6, the Montanas with 4, the Terry Bradshaws with 4. Like, you want to go there. Even Eli Manning got the 2. Ben Roethlisberger got the 2. I think Ben's got 3, actually. He won another one, right, late?
Yeah.
Like you can't just leave it at one. And I think Rodgers is hitting this weird spot now where there's a new crop coming up behind him as well. And it's almost like, are you going to miss the boat a little bit? And because now, all right, so now we're winding down to the end of the guys who were great during his era. And he's still there, right? He just threw 51 touchdowns. But will he then be surpassed by the Kyler Murrays, the Justin Herberts, all those guys? Like, I don't know. We'll see. Crazy stories into all of this. I mean, Brady, 10 out of 21 years in the league going to the Super Bowl.
Bro, yeah, bro. 10 Super Bowl. It's stupid, man. You get you get tired of seeing them.
Tell me now. All right, let's go. Can we revisit my take last week when all right, we both had the Packers on the picks, so we both got zip zero, stingy with De Niro right there, so we can wash that. But even into next week, into the Super Bowl in 2 weeks or this game, whatever, like, is point not proven for Tom Brady? You don't need to do this anymore. No matter what happens in 2 weeks, and we'll get to that a little bit down the road on the pod, but no matter what happens in 2 weeks, point is proven. Bill Belichick, hold this beer.
Yeah,
like
100%.
No doubt about it. First year during a pandemic, not even getting a training camp, not even getting a preseason. I know he's been in the league 75 years, so he don't need a preseason. But he don't need a preseason.
Team.
Exactly. He don't need a preseason if he was still on the Patriots. But, I mean, and then they go and they add all his friends, which I would swear to you in most cases would be like, don't do that. That's stupid. Like Gronk comes and then Antonio Brown too. And it's like,
yo, AB about to play in 2 weeks and go get him a little ring.
How about this? Side story, Antonio Brown versus Le'Veon Bell in the Super Bowl. They finally make it, both of them on separate teams. And one of them is going to go home with a ring.
Yeah.
Big Ben, hold that.
Oh, yeah, very true, bro. Very true. That's something.
It was crazy. I think Rodgers needs to stop the excuse making, go on the sideline. Tell your team, you are Aaron Rodgers. Tell your team, forget about what he just said. Tell my man, the kicker, say, don't cross the sideline. You're not kicking.
Don't cross that line.
Don't cross the sideline. You cross the sideline, you're not going to have to worry about it because I'm going to lose it out here. Don't cross this sideline. And all you linemen, y'all with me on this. Let's go and run this play. I'm taking it out of his hands at that point. I don't even care. I'm over this. I've been in this league for too long if I'm Aaron Rodgers. It's time to prove a point.
It's true.
But no, he sat back. He let it happen. And then what did it do? He probably went on this sideline, pouted like a little bitch.
He threw his little Scully on and sat down the side hoping Brady would fuck up.
You know what Brady would have done? Brady would have lost his shit on the sideline. On the sideline, he would have started punching Gatorade containers and shit. He would have
Bruce Arians wouldn't have been safe.
And no chance. And you know what? And let me tell you, like Bill Belichick would have got screamed on. Imagine Matt LaFleur. Imagine the tables had turned. Let's say Belichick left the Patriots or something, and Matt LaFleur is the new head coach of the Patriots after Tom Brady's been there for all those years. He's literally telling those players, don't even think about it. I don't care what this guy said. We'll talk to Robert Kraft after the game. This is a coup. We're storming the Capitol. This guy's no longer the coach. We're taking this game, and we're going to the Super Bowl. It's over. That's it.
I want no parts of that, cool.
Yeah, neither do I. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Brady, you got to give it to him. I love it. Keep stacking the accolades. It just makes Eli Manning's resume look a little better. That's no shade though. But
yo, one last thing before we get off this. Back to my boy Kevin King. Yo, what do you think about that pass interference that took about 20 seconds to get a flag thrown on it? Then had my man Mike Evans coming through like, thank you. Yo, I don't want to see that. Get the camera up off of that.
I've been telling you forever that this is my disconnection with the major sports.
Episode 1, yo, it just brought. Oh man,
I can't take it, bro. The refs are gross. They decide the games in the NFL and the NBA. They just without a doubt, it's like a third aspect of the game. You know, like if you're the Tampa Bay Bucs, you're one aspect of it. You're going into there looking at it like, all right, we have to beat the Packers, and we have to hope that the black and whites are on our side.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They shouldn't be that involved. I swear to God, I've told you when we watch games together that if it's been a while since a penalty's been called in a primetime game, you'll watch the refs literally call one just to get on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I told my little nephew to watch TV tonight so he could see me call this pass interference. You're a loser. You're a loser. You get paid enough money. They're like the equivalent of a meter maid. I get it that everybody needs a job. Like, I would never make fun of the guy who, like, throws the salt on the French fries at McDonald's, because let me tell you, brother, I was that guy for many years, you know, like during my come up. I worked a lot of shitty jobs, but yo, you wake up and you decide one day that, yo, there's nothing else I could do out here but be a meter maid and give people tickets. You are a loser. You're the type of person you're the type of person who calls the cops on people for making noise late at night when you ain't even trying to sleep. That's what you are. Like, I'm sorry.
He's just trying to do his 9 to 5, bro. That's all.
Now, don't get me wrong. NFL referees have the pass of they get paid a lot more than a meter maid. You know, that's just sad. That's just sad. But NFL refs, obviously, they get paid more. They have a little bit of fame, but like, so I get that there's more aspects into it. But like, you're gross. You just make too many calls that decide games. I'm sick of looking after I see a big play that I should be enjoying and just like embracing throughout my life of watching great things happen in sports. Instead, when I know he's gone and it's good and he's about to score a touchdown, I'm looking down at the score line right at the bottom to see if I see the yellow flag thing come up on the alert. I mean, come on. They're gross. And at the end of the day, you got to think about it, right? I'll make a quick point on these referees, then we'll move on because I don't want to go too long on this, but everyone always thinks of their coworkers in a comparison way. And don't get me wrong, obviously they're not doing what the NFL players or what any athlete is doing to be prepared for the games, right? But they go to work and they stand right next to people who make hundreds of millions of dollars. So, and gambling is so prevalent in this country and all around the world that I'm sorry, it's just too much opportunity for sabotage, too much opportunity for them to know what's my game check today, 15K. Right. But if I bet the under and call every big play back on a holding, I know I can keep it low and I can take that 15K and double it or triple it or do whatever I got to do. And there's just too much opportunity for that. And we saw a guy get arrested in the NBA for it.
100%.
Crazy accusations. I just hope that I'm on the right side. I don't care.
You ever see the clip of Michael Jordan when he's playing for the Wizards and the weird little white referee comes up to him and Mike says, "Come on, man, that was a foul." And the referee goes, "Really, Michael? I didn't see it, but I'll call it." And he turns around and he calls a foul. Just right there shows you there's too much human emotion in all of this. I will. I might clip it here and put it on the pod.
Jordan, for one, thought that Aaron McKee had double dribbled in midair before the foul, and he talked about it with Tommy Nunez. And here's our court sounds. Listen to this conversation.
He never controlled it, Michael. He never
picked it up and then he
but he didn't touch it with both hands.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You think so, Michael? 55 hits, 2 to come. Michael, I didn't see 2 hands on him, Michael. Yeah. But I believe you.
He did.
But I believe you. I only saw the one hand on him.
All right, so let's move on. So we both got that one wrong. You're going to see a lot of that from me. I basically got lumped up all weekend. But then we went to the AFC Championship, Buffalo Bills at Kansas City. I had the Bills as my underdog of the week. Another big 0. Chris had the Chiefs. Patty Mahomes
coming through 38-24 over Bills Mafia.
The Bills were everything I thought they would be. I guess the Chiefs, I just had to stop sleeping, man. The Chiefs they are exactly what I guess we've seen from them. I thought they'd come up short here a little bit. I wondered how well Patty Mahomes would play, but I'm taking no excuses because I did say no matter what, he will play. He'll be fine. He'll have all his senses about him. And the Buffalo Bills will still win. I'll tell you what, man. I've watched a lot of their games, obviously, over the last couple of years. Tyreek Hill's speed is
Bro,
like
he ran from one 10-yard line, 140-yard line side to the other. It was stupid.
I've never
Stupid
seen
quick.
anything like it. I've never seen
Yeah.
anything like it. He's so fast that like even though he's small, you'll get like a linebacker go to smack him, but he's so fast that they could only clip him.
Yeah.
So he'll just bounce off and keep it moving and just like zipping through players and just like the speed. Yo, I've seen Barry Sanders play, bro. I've seen like I say Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. He's one of the fastest guys I've ever seen. But this dude, oh my God, I've never seen nothing like it.
My man was hitting Madden juke sticks, bro. It's stupid.
The crazy thing is too, I can almost like remember physically what it was like back in high school playing football. And like I wasn't ever very quick or agile or anything like that, but however quick and agile you think you are, when you throw on cleats, those uncomfortable ass pants, all that gear on top of your shoulders and that helmet on your head cutting off your vision, yo, to still be that fast, oh my God. I'd love to see what he looks like in person, zipping by with no equipment on.
So as that game started, bro, I was just getting over my depression of seeing Brady just spank that ass. Yeah, man, I took a little break. I went to go get something to drink, something nice and strong. And yeah, by the time I turned on Kansas City came to down 9-0. I'm like, yet another one. Let's do it again. So yeah, in Chrissy Malloy's fashion, I turned off the game. It's like, yo, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And yeah, it turned it on a little while later. They came back a little bit, held it down. It like I said last week, bro. It was never a question of whether he was gonna play. My man came through 29 for 38, 325 yards, 3 TDs. And yo, that shovel pass to Kelsey, like that's
He 100%. It's weird how these things happen, but he 100%. This is not my original idea. I've heard it before, but I just can't think of anything original enough that's better than it. He's 100% the NFL's version of Steph Curry.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's nasty with it.
In every way. He's just different.
He's different and he has fun, bro. He brings the fun.
Yeah.
Steph ain't been doing that too much lately, but yo.
All right. Stop with the Steph slander. Steph is the man. The man. He's just, after you win that many championships and you go so many years in a row and you win multiple MVPs and all that, whatever. That's another story. But yeah, man, he's great. There's nothing I could say. 25 years old, going to his second Super Bowl, won an MVP. I mean, this dude, just think about this, right? But this is just a thought off the top of my head. He's 25. I'm 32. Right? When Tom Brady came into the league, I was 13. So he was 6. He watched Brady win all those Super Bowls and be the GOAT, just like me and you. And now he's actually playing in a Super Bowl with him. Wow. I know sometimes we disconnect ourselves from these people because they're famous, but they're still people.
Yeah.
The kid is 25.
Yep.
He watched Brady win championships when he was in middle school. Could you imagine that? And now you're going to play a Super Bowl against him?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That kid got ice in his veins though. So
he's filthy, man. He's nasty, in every good way possible. I mean, just wow. Hence why, but don't get me wrong. I was picking the Bills. I liked them. I thought they were fast enough to match the speed. I just didn't realize the speed is crazy.
yeah.
And Mahomes is definitely better than Josh Allen, as good as Josh Allen is too, though. I think he's very good too. But Mahomes is generational. He's like something else.
Yeah, different level, bro.
But like, at the end of the day, I knew that, you know, and I felt that way already, and that's why Mitchell Trubisky is called not Patty Mahomes. You get it? Because that's how good Patty Mahomes is. Not that I'm trying to now switch it up, but I just had to make that point. It's not just to disrespect Mitchell Trubisky. It's almost to say he's going to be like serviceable and average his whole career. I know that, and which is more than I'll ever do in the NFL. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Chicago did him the disservice of trading up 13 spots to get him ahead of Mahomes, which immediately ties him forever, which sucks because just because of that, we're never going to consider you. Like, you'd have to.
Before we get off of this subject, what do you think about that picture of Stephon Diggs, bro, being the last one on the field, watching them just celebrate? Think about that.
So, man, now that all this is documented, it's sometimes rough for me to always be so pessimistic, but that's kind of who I am. I guess I'm kind of being unfair in a sense that if he did want to just naturally do it, it doesn't matter nowadays. Like, you're always going to be on camera. But there's something about it that just makes me feel like it was done to make a point on what it was good foresight. Like, I know this will end up on Instagram.
Damn, son.
I'm a hater. I'm a hater, bro. That's what they call me. That's what they call me.
You be killing me, kid. You ain't got no good outlooks on none of these picks.
What did I just said I was pessimistic. I just said I was pessimistic, and you go, nah, what do you mean? This is what
Holy sugar.
Hey, listen, let me just make this point. Devil's advocate. If you didn't want to be recorded doing it, and you just wanted to sit out there and let that shit stew a little bit to make you mad for next year, could you have done it in the tunnel?
Nah, because he was playing on the field.
All right.
Well, I got to walk out. I want to see what it is from right here.
For what reason? What? All right, let me ask you this.
Definitely not for Instagram likes, bro.
Oh, yes, it was. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
You could have went back to the locker room and watched it on TV and let it stew.
Nah, you got to experience that firsthand. You got to film fireworks go off. You got to have those little toilet paper ribbons falling on you.
Yeah. So 15. So 10 feet into the tunnel, you could have still seen it and felt it. Where they couldn't have taken a picture of you in perfect form right behind your jersey to see you doing this. Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Nah, man.
Stop it. We know you're motivated. We get it. You was motivated coming into this season, Stephon Diggs. 100%. Yeah, you was mad that Minnesota didn't pass you the ball for years. And you came to Buffalo and you said, yo, pass me that rock and I'll take it from here. And you did. Respect.
100%.
Get out of here with that. That's some for Instagram shit. I don't want to see that. That's some for Instagram shit. Anyway, and on that point, do you know that Juju Smith used to put out another stupid dancing in the Lamborghini video like the day after the Steelers lost their game?
Corvette?
I would tell him to get in his Corvette and get the fuck out of here because I'm trading you.
He definitely could, though. Corvette.
If I was the Steelers, I would be telling them right now, get in your Corvette, drive the fuck off our premises, and we'll let you know when you get traded. And we trading your ass somewhere whack. Where are we going? What's the wackest city in fucking in the NFL? That's where you're going. That's where you're going.
Down to Houston.
I mean, Pittsburgh's pretty up there, so.
Nah, they definitely don't want him.
Nah, I would trade his ass too. He's a bum. Anyway, to transition from that conversation about, being 25, and shout to you, you got that pick on that one. I guess we're going to do some way too early Super Bowl predictions and picks. I figured we could pick the game and maybe just the MVP. I got some odds up for that too. Truthfully though, I don't even have odds up for the game yet, and I figured to let that stew, and maybe that's another conversation we can have next week. I'm just thinking early thoughts. Who do you like for this game? 25-year-old Patty Mahomes. Oh, how do we go this long without mentioning that for the first time in NFL history, the team hosting the Super Bowl is going to be actually at home?
And they're going to have the advantage because Kansas City can't go up into Tampa Bay until 2 days before the game.
Is that a fact?
That's what I read on ESPN. Shout out to ya.
Wow, that's very interesting. Can I say why? Very, very interesting. I may be wrong because I know that there's different parts of Florida, but I've been to a few of them, Tampa not being one. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know about Tampa, but and obviously it's January, but it's still like humidity difference, right? When I took a trip for work a couple of years ago down to Fort Lauderdale, obviously I was wearing a sweater because it was November and I came from New York. Obviously, when I got off in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I didn't need a sweater anymore. But let me tell you something, bro. It was different than I didn't need a sweater anymore. It was, oh my God, I'm out here and I might have transformed into the lizard man because there's another layer of skin around my body of humidity.
Bro, this is the Super Bowl. It's not going to matter.
I get it, but I'm just saying there's a difference to it, even like breathing. Even breathing. And all that let me tell you something. All that goes into these little pussyfoot athletes nowadays, all right? Back in the day,
more than enough oxygen on the sideline, bro.
Back in the day, Babe Ruth used to smoke cigars and eat hot dogs in between at bats and hit 600 home runs, all right? Nowadays, they're built like Greek gods, but they walk past the table and bump their leg into it and they're out for 6 months. So, I don't know. I'm just saying it's different a little bit. But that being said, yeah.
Yo, that could be true. That could not be true. Who knows? I don't think it affects it anyway, bro.
All right.
The line for that game is Kansas City -3.
Right now.
We're not rooting for Brady, bro.
Why?
I don't know, bro.
What's the Brady hate about? Why?
Yo, bro, I've been going against him this whole time. I ain't giving up this week. Chiefs over the Bucs
every week.
Yeah. No, hold on. Wait, no. The first week against Washington, I took the spread, I believe, but early talk was he was about to get bro. Early talk was Chase Young about to yum eat him up. But yeah, I fell back on that and I showed the respect because Washington is Washington.
So you're liking Chiefs easy. I mean, do you think it's easy? What do you think?
Nah, I think it'll be a touchdown either way, one way or another. It's gonna come down to the wire.
Touchdown either way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that mindset. In my heart, I feel like something similar. I think Chiefs win the game. It's sort of a almost a passing of the torch moment. But man, after this week, I'm gonna go Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs too. I guess that's our mutual podcast pick for everybody then. I just can't see it. I learned my lesson this week. I was trying to go with the momentum Buffalo was coming in with, and after a while I was like, oh, that's right. Like this team, even the Chiefs, they're almost like the Warriors of the NFL.
Yeah.
It's like they could be down like 9-0, and then you like go make a bag of popcorn. Come back. It's 35-14. And you're like, what happened? Like these guys hang points on you quickly. Quick little fun stat about that to relate to that. When the Bucs played the Chiefs earlier this year, Tyreek Hill went for like 206 and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. That's how quickly they can hang them on you. It was crazy. I mean, it's like, I just can't see it. I feel like I'm torn because I doubted both of these guys last week and went against both of them. So now who am I going to continue to doubt? And who should I have learned my lesson from last week? But I just feel like the 25-year-old, he's but I'm still going to go Chiefs. But I just got to throw one thing out there, man. That Bucs defense made me eat my words. It is crazy. Like, they are coming off the edge. They are killing. So, I mean, what else is there to be said? We're both going Chiefs. We did agree to pick the Super Bowl MVP as another pick. And I actually think that, I mean, I guess I believe my pick qualifies as my underdog of the week, but let's see. I guess I can read off. I don't know if you've seen these or not, but right now the current
couple of ones.
Yeah, the top ones right now are Pat Mahomes coming in at plus 105.
Yeah.
Brady plus 225, which I guess is kind of eliminated because we both said the Chiefs are going to win. Tyreek Hill at plus 1,200. Travis Kelce at plus 1,300.
See, my whole thing with that is, yo, even if Kelce does catch 3 TDs in that game, you still got to give it to Patty Mahomes.
Maybe. Yeah, that's the toughest part, you know? It is. But I don't know. I'm looking at those two, man, and I just get a feeling in my gut that this time one of those two are going to take it. But you're right. I mean, it's hard because it's like as dominant as they are, Mahomes has to feed them everything they get. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
You already know what it is, man. The odds makers done told you, yo, we only going to give y'all 105 for this. Take it and good night. That's it.
So you go on Mahomes MVP?
You already know what it is, man.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go underdog of the week, and I'm going to take Tyreek Hill. Plus 1,200. Put your slips in.
That's a 4-pointer. I'll call that. That's a 4-pointer right there.
4-pointer if it hits?
That's a 4-pointer if it hits, yo. Plus 1,200. Right. You got to get something for that.
Yeah. All right. I respect that. I appreciate you throwing that out there. I honestly.
You would have told me and told me to eat the 3 points, and that's it. You know
how I would have argued it? I would have said he's like the third lowest odds, even at plus 1,200.
Yep.
Also say, yeah, all right, he's only third, but it's plus 1,200. So they're telling you something about that.
I could see him getting a couple of those screen passes and then running them just for like
I just see him doing
touchdowns.
I don't know why it's like I act like this is the first time I saw him play football, but I just really watched, man, and I was like, wow. Like the way and here's my thing. This is where my mindset is going into it. I think that defense on Tampa Bay has been so ferocious with the attack that he's going to have to dump a couple off real quick. And I could see Tyreek Hill even taking maybe a reverse run for 75 yards. The guy is nasty. Give him the football. And I think that Shaq Barrett and the Bucs defense are going to be coming off the line looking to kill 15. And I think he's going to have to dump a couple off. And, yeah, I know that means his stats will grow with Tyreek Hill's, and that puts Tyreek Hill at a disadvantage. But after the lumpings I took this week, I'm out here to give you guys a banger. And I just think he's going to separate himself enough on a few plays that Mahomes didn't have to do anything too spectacular to make happen, that they're just going to say, let's, mix it up a little bit. Mahomes just won Super Bowl MVP last year. Plus, listen, bro, Vegas don't lose, kid. And look what the gambler of this podcast, the true gambler, said. They gave it to you already, bro. Plus 105. Go cash it.
Lock it up.
Watch how many people do that. And then all of a sudden, Vegas going to put that call in. Tyreek Hill, MVP. He's going to do something crazy. He's going to make one will be a run. He'll be like a guy who runs and catches a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He'll do something crazy.
Yeah.
Have big gains. I'm looking at that as my underdog of the week. You gave me the 4 points. I'll take it.
You got 2 weeks to change. I mean, you got 2 weeks to change that.
I'm not.
Can't say anything.
No, that stays.
You could come hop on the right side, but yeah. Let's move on. UFC
you see,
this weekend.
No, hold on. Before we move on, I just want to point something out for the listeners here. This guy just gave himself a caveat because he knows me better than anybody. My picks are locked.
Yeah.
They are not changing. What he gave himself was an out to go to work all week, listen to the masses, because that's what this guy loves to do, listen to the masses, and say, oh, well, maybe I want to come back next week and be hard on Tom Brady and ride him to the Super Bowl instead of Patrick Mahomes.
You never know, bro.
Maybe I'll invite them to a menage.
we got time.
Oh, man.
UFC, how you want to start this one off? You want to start from bottom to top or top to bottom? What do you want to do?
Let's just
best to worst.
let's go that way. Jojo Calderwood, nice performance against Jessica Ai. Unfortunately, the UFC didn't cut Jessica Ai afterwards, but I mean, we still have a couple weeks to hope. That was the only pick I got right this week. So thank you, Jojo Calderwood. 1 for 5. I guess I got to stop calling you the Maloiks. Although the difference would be I don't put money on it.
We're going to transfer that moniker soon enough, but we'll see.
Yeah, no chance, brother. No chance. Yeah, good win over Jessica Ai. She sucks. I hope JoJo gets back to the title fight. I'd like to see it. Before actually even rolling into that, I'd also like to mention, side note, the Amanda Ribas, big prospect for the UFC. Look, she took a hard loss. We didn't pick that fight, but there is something I'd like to say. And I wanted to make myself clear. Herb Dean, when are you going to be held accountable for the things you have been doing lately? It's too much. It's out of control. We need better from you. And you know what? I don't know the guy. I don't know anybody who knows him, but I'm just assuming he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
Because other guys have been torn to pieces by Dana White and other fighters, and like Mario Yamasaki with that stupid heart thing, you will never see him again.
Yeah, never.
The UFC does not pick the referees or the judges of fights. That's a misconception a lot of people have. The commission does. But when is somebody going to hold this guy accountable? I mean, Herb Dean, I know, but it's been a lot lately. And you know, I completely forget that even little stupid things like the start of the Conor Poirier fight, when they come running out, then he sends them back, and then like you come running out. It's like, okay, those are stupid. Mistakes happen. But like, you could have got Amanda Ribas really hurt.
Really hurt.
And it's time to take accountability for that. You're in there for one job, to protect these fighters. What the fuck are you doing? That girl is knocked out on her fucking feet. She gets back up. The other one turns around after celebrating. They both looking at you, and you throw up a, what are you guys doing? I don't know. What the fuck? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, bro.
Enough is enough. I get it. You're a nice guy. But what if somebody got to get really hurt in this shit? For somebody to call you out? The fuck, bro? Enough is enough.
He hopped in like he was about to stop it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what changed. What changed his mind?
Yeah, because listen, you know what? This sport has come a long fucking way from human cockfighting to being considered legitimate and one of the top sports in the world on ESPN, on national TV, on ABC, on Fox. But enough with this shit, because this is the type of shit that sets it back. That girl gets up. Forget about the fact that he almost stepped in. Amanda Ribas gets up and looks at him like, no, save me.
Save me.
Like, don't let her hit me again. Like, she's red as an apple. her stars are in front of her eyes. Like, come on, my man. Again, like, do better, bro. Do better. People don't need to be knocked out twice. They don't need you in there if this is what it's going to be.
True.
You only in there for that one reason. If not, we could just let it see how it be, and we hope that the girl who knocks her out doesn't be a savage and kill her while she's on the ground. Yeah. But outside of that, then we don't need you.
Yep.
Do better, bro. Shit was crazy.
Yeah,
shit was crazy. All right, transitioning into the co-main event of the evening. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. This was actually Chris's underdog of the week.
I hope y'all listen.
Oh, he's gloating now. It's danger. But hey, man, I got to give it to you. I said it last week too. I love Michael Chandler. I'm very happy for him. Funny enough, I spoke about how much I didn't like Dan Hooker last week, and then picked him, which is just like a whole roller coaster of emotions. But I'll tell you the truth, actually. This decision, while going into it, I actually liked Michael Chandler for many years in Bellator, and have never really been a big fan of Dan Hooker. I don't know. There was something different about him, too. It's like there was something in the water out there. He seemed different, too, and I actually watched a couple interviews during the week, Dan Hooker, and I liked him. I was like, damn, this guy's changing my mind on him. Like, I actually like him now. I don't know why. And maybe that's not a good thing anymore, because then Michael Chandler, what was I talking about? Having a chip on your shoulder, trying to make an impact to show you are as good as everyone else after spending that many years in Bellator?
Yep.
Holy shit. Dynamite. He lit his ass up.
Oh, baby, did he?
Oh, man. It was crazy, too. Like,
Michael Chandler, welcome to the UFC.
Yo, very well put.
Yeah.
Welcome to the UFC for real. That was something.
He got me a little scared when he was telling Dana at the face-off, talking about, yo, Hooker's type big, bro.
He said, yo, my man is tall. I said, uh-oh.
He didn't care.
Like that. He threw everything against it. He didn't care.
He took his head off, bro.
Yo. And he was small and compact, and I thought Hooker would use that length and keep him at distance. And
Hooker looked scared to throw. I don't know what it was, but he looked scared to throw.
You know what? That last fight against Dustin Poirier, man. Those wars sometimes change a man.
It's true.
You just see a difference in them, and I don't know. I also think there's something to the Conor fight spectacle. And I noticed that in a few interviews, like Dan Hooker. I don't know if he was trying to be respectful, thinking down the line, saying, well, if I win this fight and I'm respectful, Conor seems to appreciate that lately. Maybe he'll give me a fight. But he was very respectful to Conor all week. Oddly, complimentary of Conor a lot of times during the weekend, almost to a point where it got me I don't know. I don't know if you're just almost eating this moment up a little bit too much. Like, it's big. Like, it feels different, when you go to a Conor fight.
Yeah, bro.
But hey, man, Michael Chandler took his head off, called out everybody, said something about come back and be 29 and Chandler to Khabib. He don't want that. But everybody else should look out. Michael Chandler's for real, man.
Yeah. Khabib's not coming back.
No, he's not. Oh, and if I could just make a point here. I mean, I am a huge Dana White fan. One of my literal idols. Just a guy who came from not much and made everything of it, I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, what? I get it. You probably lost a lot of money on that. But at the end of the day, you rich already. Come on, my man. You are visibly upset. I get it.
Khabib?
About Conor losing.
Losing.
And I'm not even trying to say it's on some fucking Conor fanboy shit. Don't get it twisted. Does he like Conor? Yeah, of course. What fight promoter doesn't like a guy who, no matter what, shows up, sells 800 million pay-per-views, and every ticket in the house? What promoter wouldn't like that guy? Plus, Conor's a cool dude. I'm sure they get along and they take shots of whiskey together. It's not that. It's not that. So enough with that dumb shit on MMA Twitter where everybody wants to say, oh, that's his buddy. It's his, all that. No, stop. It's not that. He's a promoter. His brain only works one way, and it doesn't matter how much money he already has. The biggest fight in the history of the sport that could happen was Conor KOing Dustin and then going into the rematch against Khabib. And Dana White got into the octagon while the decision was being called and was visibly upset. And after all that shit we heard about the Khabib things, actually comes up in the press conference and goes, well, Khabib's retired already. He told you guys that. I'm the one pushing for him to fight again. Yeah, like, no shit, bro. We all saw that. But, like, but what he's kind of saying and not saying, which is my point, is he's saying, he came out and said, we have to see something spectacular this weekend. And then Khabib will come back. I now slide this question back, but nobody in the MMA media is brave enough to do it. What could be more spectacular than seeing Conor McGregor get KO'd? What could have been? Plus, we know Khabib hates Conor. So, if anything, he's probably happy about what happened. And, I mean, man, that was spectacular. Why are we not talking about Dustin and Khabib? It's not even a question. What Dana White came out and said but didn't say was, no, he's retired now because I'm not even going to ask him to fight Dustin Poirier. You know why? Because when Khabib fought Justin Gaethje in his last one, they sold 500,000 pay-per-views in the middle of a pandemic when nobody could go outside.
Nope.
He wasn't interested in putting up Dustin versus Khabib because it'll do another 500,000 pay-per-views. The purists will watch it. I'll watch it. I'd love to see it. And I think coming off the knockout over Conor, I'd love to see Dustin's confidence now. Still wouldn't matter.
Right.
Still wouldn't matter. At the end of the day, let's just give it up for what it is. Khabib would have went in on Saturday night and beat all four of those guys in a gauntlet match.
Gauntlet match. Word.
Straight up.
Word.
I'm sorry.
What after that?
I'm the biggest Conor McGregor fan you're ever going to see. The artwork on this podcast and the intro, you are going to see my face on a laid out Conor McGregor body because it's only right.
You got to eat that.
But Khabib would have come in and beat all four of them in a gauntlet match.
Yep.
One after another. That includes Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor, and Dustin Poirier. He had to beat all of them in the same night. So let him retire because you know what? Frankly, when guys like that leave, the divisions get much more interesting.
True.
It's great to see them on the rise, and it's great to see them. But once they've Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre the division and beat everybody, just let them go off into the sunset or move on to another division. If Khabib were to come back, you know what I would say? Let's see you go up to 170. That's what I want to see. I want to see you do the same wrestle thing to everybody who's a little bit bigger now. I'd like to see you challenge yourself that way. But at 155, it's over. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants that with him. Stop.
It's very true. Very true. All right. Well, I guess the worst of the worst, man. Let's just get this over.
I mean, we already spoke about it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Conor was looking good until he wasn't, bro. That's it.
No. Actually, you know what? And I almost wish we were live recording it because I said this while the fight was going on in the first round. And now that I bring it up, think about it, right? We've watched Conor fights since, forget it, right? Yo, where was the teep kick? Where was the kick to the body? Where was the spinning kicks? Where was the open karate stance bouncing in and out? And where was all that? My man, I noticed at the Cowboy and the Dustin weigh-in, you know how I feel about the face-offs and the weigh-ins. At both of those, I noticed that Conor faced off, and everybody could go back and watch this. In previous years, you remember, like with Jose Aldo and stuff, doing the distance, doing his stance thing. Both the Cerrone and the Dustin fight, he gets all up in this tall boxing stance. And I'm not here to give him any excuses. I'm just here to talk about game plan. I just think he's focusing a little too much with that crumbling boxing coach he's brought back, and I know everybody's jumping on his team. Stop it already. SBG helped that man get where he's got to be. Don't think that's not the case. A lot of people on MMA Twitter are talking about him. He should switch gyms and all that. Just stop the shit. That's if he switched gyms and lost, you'd be saying the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
Right? So where does Max Holloway train? I'll wait. Right? Doesn't matter. Where did Brock Lesnar train before he won the heavyweight belt? Yeah, so some of these guys, yeah. You know what? ATT did great service for many of those guys, right? Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, Luke Rockhold, even guys before him like Tyron Woodley, Josh Koscheck. But let me ask you something. What happened to all those guys? None of them last, right?
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez injured. Luke Rockhold could get knocked out by Bruce Buffer swinging the fucking thing he's reading off of while he's introducing. If he swings too hard and goes towards Luke Rockhold, the wind could knock Luke Rockhold out. Why do you think that is? Because he spent years sparring some of the greatest fighters in the world. And yeah, iron sharpens iron, but eventually it dulls out. Yeah. So it's not that. Let's stop. But what I do think in terms of the coaches is this whole boxing thing. This guy is not a boxing coach for MMA like his coach Owen Roddy is. This guy is an old school boxing coach, one of the guys who shits on MMA, doesn't like it, doesn't believe in it, stuck in his ways, and doesn't want to adapt. And that's what you saw on Saturday night. Where were the kicks? Where's the kicks to Dustin's body? Where's the spinning kicks and the swinging in and out? And where was it? It was nowhere.
I'm gonna assume that the calf kicks hurt real early in the fight, bro.
Bro, I get it, and trust me, I want this to come off correctly because I know it's like debating politics when you talk about Conor McGregor. I get it, and I'm not trying to be a homer, and I'm not trying to take away from Dustin's win because there are no excuses left. Excuses are done. It's over. You understand? This is not Khabib with a wrestling style. This is not in a set of rules to help the greatest boxer of all time stand up against Conor McGregor in a boxing fight and then he loses. No, it's different. This is MMA against a guy he's KO'd already who didn't, he tried to take him down or whatever, but that didn't even matter.
Yeah.
He got knocked out on the feet in MMA. No excuses left.
He jiggled his forehead.
but that's fucked up. All right.
Yeah.
Jiggled his forehead.
You've seen
that. Fuck you. But more than anything, before Dustin lands one calf kick, just watch how Conor McGregor comes out standing.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to go back and rewatch that.
Please do. And come back next week and remember that we talked about this because from the moment he comes out, it's just off. It's different. He doesn't do the strut when he walks in. He doesn't have the aura about him. He's just standing there doing a lot of. Yeah, and I get the being appreciated, and I'm not hating on the respect because I love respectful Conor. I thought it was actually like relieving to see, and it was like it made me feel good about it. And I actually felt that had nothing to do with it. It's not about losing the edge. It's more about like, all right, Conor, now we're in the cage. You never got vicious. You could be respectful in the pre-fight, but the viciousness needs to turn on eventually.
Yeah.
You never got there. And frankly, I actually want to go back and look at the Cowboy fight too. I even think even in that one, his stance had already begun to change a little bit because he started working with this boxing coach.
Could be something.
He's tucking his chin. He's got his hands up and he's like, no, stop being all stiff like a boxer. A boxer is stiff in some senses. I get it. Like they're smooth and stuff, but they're like mechanical, you know, like slip and rip, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, Conor was different. Conor came at you from the reason he only stood that long with Floyd Mayweather is not because his boxing coach could train him to get in there with Floyd Mayweather. Stop it. Floyd Mayweather's 49-0 going into that fight, 50-0. You're not gonna train Conor to beat him in boxing. The only chance Conor had was to train with MMA guys. Because he comes in from different angles and just keeps doing different things. It's not just a standard 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 rip.
Yeah.
It's different. It's angles, and that's what Floyd had to figure out the first couple of rounds, and that's the only reason Conor stayed in it that long. So this boxing coach on Ariel Helwani's show saying he would have done better against Floyd if he trained with me, no, he wouldn't have. He'd have been out of there in 3 rounds. It's the best thing that ever happened to him. Let me tell you why. Manny Pacquiao would have really knocked him the fuck out. And not because Conor don't have a chance in that, because Conor would have listened to this old Irishman from the Crumlin gym, and he would have went in there to try to really box the guy instead of coming in with the odd angles and moving and bouncing. No, he would have tried to be a mechanical boxer, which he tried to do against Dustin. And frankly, Dustin is better at that. Dustin's better at just absorbing blows and then returning in the pocket with hooks. Bang, 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 bang. Conor was supposed to teep to the body, bounce in, bounce out, bounce in, bounce out, throw the counters. It just looked different, man. And I'm not making excuses. I just didn't like it. It was a tough one. I don't even care about going 1-5. I care more so about seeing him get knocked out like that in front of his kids. It made me a little sad.
Yeah, bro. He got put next to Nate Robinson meme. So I ain't.
See, I don't fuck with all that. I don't fuck with all that because I'll tell you what,
bro. Hey, that's the world we live in now, bro. Don't put yourself on a meme, huh?
Don't put yourself on a meme.
That's
How
what
about
you
this?
get paid so much for, bro.
Every person who shared that meme couldn't get together and beat up Conor McGregor. So those things are what they are, but I guess that's just a part of society nowadays. I really am just not a big fan. But you know what? Shout out to Dustin Poirier, because nothing taken away from that guy. I actually really like him. It's the one thing about this fight game, man, and it's what I love about it, and it's what kind of hurts. You know me, like I'm a guy who has to like tie himself to a team and be with that team his whole life.
Yeah.
Metsies, baby. Metsies, Knicks. These teams have not won anything in my lifetime. I was born in '88. They've won nothing. But that's who I root for, and that's always who I'll root for. But a lot of these fights are tough because I liked Khabib. I still do. I always did. I like Conor's obviously my favorite, but I've been watching Conor knock fools out since Cage Warriors, way before all this other shit. And you know what? How about this? A different take. You know what? Good. I'll take it. You know why? It was starting to get annoying being in such a big crowd. Because you'll see who really likes you now.
Yeah, exactly.
His pictures don't come off my wall.
At the top.
His pictures don't come off my wall. That signed picture of the double champ right there, that don't come off my wall. Nah, never. But there's going to be many that go away. But you know what? Fuck it. It's better to be a fan of him when everyone isn't a fan of his. So I'll take it. But at the end of the day, I like Dustin Poirier a lot too. Always did. And man, what a resume that guy has. Stop sleeping on him. I think and that's what bothered me a little bit about what Dana did. It's almost disrespectful, man. Come on, like, let's stop playing. This guy has beaten Max Holloway twice. He's beaten Conor McGregor. Okay? He's beaten Eddie Alvarez. He's beaten Justin Gaethje. And he's finished all of them.
What's next? What's next? Where do we go from here?
What's next? That's the
Khabib's
question.
not coming back. So what do we see? We see Poirier and Chandler, or
nah, Michael Chandler's not getting a title fight off of that. And really, because Dustin Poirier kind of shit on him in the press conference. Not really, but kind of in the post-fight. In the post-fight, he said, yo, hold on. I am not fighting him for a vacant belt when he just beat a guy that I just beat after coming into the UFC after all these years. And I get that. I think what you do is Poirier versus Oliveira for the lightweight belt.
oh,
And you know what I'd like to see a lot? I'd like to see Conor and Gaethje fight for the next shot at the belt. And they're both coming off a loss. And I get that that's insane to put Conor that high back up. But I'll just say this. He smokes Justin Gaethje. You wouldn't be questioning it anymore. You just have to wait till after it happens.
So wait, Michael Chandler just gets put on a back burner?
Michael Chandler has to win one more fight. And I mean, yeah, you could put him against Gaethje. You could do that too. And then you could do Conor Diaz. You could do,
He's gotta win one more fight though.
100%.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler wasn't, like, when I say Michael Chandler came over a little bit too late from Bellator, It's not that he was just like reigning terror on Bellator's lightweight division.
Right.
He wasn't even the champion when he left. Patricky and both of the Pitbull brothers.
Oh, Patricio
and Patricky.
Yeah.
Whoever he fought recently for the belt knocked him the fuck out. So he's lost a couple times in Bellator too. It's not like he was like just like reigning terror for years.
John Jones in it.
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't even the champ anymore. I mean, he's still great. Michael Chandler is great. I feel like all I do is slander this man, and coming off a knockout. I love Michael Chandler too. I've been a big fan. I've been saying for years. But like, give him a title shot? Yeah, you could. If Dustin Poirier had come out, see, this is why Dana White is not even going to entertain the Dustin Poirier-Khabib fight, because he says, you don't sell me fights.
Right.
Because Dustin Poirier, as great as he is, and you know, the true martial artist that he is, he's a promoter's nightmare. Why do you come out and say that? It doesn't even matter. Just sell it.
Yeah.
Say, Michael Chandler, I gave you my light work. I finished that up a couple weeks ago. If you want, I could put this beating on you next to. And then when you go into negotiations, you say, why am I fighting Michael Chandler and not Charles Oliveira if it's about sports? If you're about that samurai lifestyle and you want to just be the biggest, baddest martial artist with the most respect. Or even in the pros fight, say, Michael Chandler, please. But I'll beat your ass if the UFC wants that. But
Yeah.
I would just say Charles Oliveira is looking a lot more like who should be in that fight.
I could see a bullshit heel hook to tap him out. but
But
that's at a future date.
But what he does say is, nah, he doesn't deserve that fight yet, and that killed it. That was it. That was like, oh shit. Well, you're not giving him Conor. Like, he's not fighting Conor McGregor yet either, because that's even more valuable than a title fight, even after getting knocked out. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
It's still more valuable. No. Relax. Conor either fights Dustin again, which I think would be crazy, because Dustin needs to be in a title fight, and you can't give Conor a title shot and make it vacant after Dustin just won the fight already. Then you have to crown him the champ.
Right.
But like,
yeah.
if not, I don't know. I think you could do Conor Diaz, but I would love to see. Gaethje had a lot to say about Conor. And hey, you know what? It'd be a good test back, because Gaethje throws them vicious leg kicks. And let's see how we can adapt to it. Conor's never been one to take the easy route, so let's see. If not, you do the Diaz fight, fine.
Or you just go chill on your yacht, bro.
Just retire, right?
Yeah, man.
I hate to say it, man, because there is nothing like a Conor McGregor event.
It's
But
true.
you know what? You got two beautiful kids, a third one on the way. You rode into Abu Dhabi on a yacht. Do you really got to get punched in the face anymore? I mean, I get it. I get that, like, you're still hungry to do it in some sense. Maybe you could just like transition into coaching. Open up a bunch of gyms all around the world to start your network. Like, and do you you're not going to be as hungry as these guys. I'm sorry. Even Dustin Poirier, who's made money and has been a veteran of this sport, you're not as hungry as Dustin Poirier.
It's different, bro.
He wakes up earlier than you.
Yep.
I promise. I don't care, man. I promise he does. Plus, who wants to really punch you? All right. I just talked all that shit about training camps, but in some sense, Dustin Poirier gets to spar with Jorge Masvidal. Who are you sparring with?
Yeah, it's true.
You need yourself a real friend. And I think he still has them around him. I just wish they'd go back to punching him in the face. Because now I just think they think he's a little too erratic and he's too rich to be punching him in the face and training and shit. And I'm not saying he's not training, because I know the man worked hard coming into this. He was chiseled.
Yeah, he did what he had to do. He just, he got the shit bested out of him.
Oh, man, it was tough. It was tough to see. I felt sad for him. The leg kicks were crazy. But where was the bouncing in and out? Where was the movement? You looked like a flat-footed boxer all of a sudden in an MMA fight. What happened? But I don't know. If he retires, I respect that. If he doesn't, there's no meaningless fights. So we got to go Gaethje for a chance at the next winner of the Oliveira-Poirier fight. And I mean, I guess we have to see how that all shakes out before we start making predictions on how that goes. But
yeah, you can't do that.
yeah, I don't know. I respect Dustin a lot. I'm sad for Conor, but then again, I mean, he's filthy rich. He'll be all right.
All in all, for all the crap talking I did during the week about this card, man, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It was decent to watch.
I think it was pretty good, and we had a solid little good time on Saturday night. We had the proper 12 flowing in the whiskey sours.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
We had just a good time. We watched the fights. I mean, it was shocking, but
Caught a quick cat nap before the main event.
This guy always.
You already know.
You know what though? I say, man, that's what I love about the fight game. You never know what to expect. You never know what's going to happen. That's why it's the greatest sport in the world, without a doubt.
True.
It's better than all these other sports. Yeah, referees do dumb shit. Yeah, judges make stupid decisions. And
Herb Dean, do better.
Do better.
That's
do
all.
Better.
We love you, but do better, bro.
Exactly. But man, there's nothing like this sport. Nothing like this sport. What doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. It all comes out at the end of the day. We'll see it. We get to see it. It's what I love. It's what I loved about WWE wrestling as a kid in the Attitude Era, when they would curse each other out and talk about beating each other's ass. But now they have to stand on every word they say, most of them. And they got to get in there, and we see what happens. Shout out to Dustin, man. Shout out to the UFC. Shout out to Conor McGregor.
Thanks for a good event.
Yep, for sure. And so we're on hiatus from the UFC this week, so we don't have any picks for that. We will be back next week. We'll talk about the upcoming fight night. I figured because we only have 2 things on the board right now, and technically those 2 things actually won't even get decided for like 2 weeks. I figured we could just make a couple quick little picks on the NBA this week. We both went through and looked at the list and picked out 3 games. We'll pick these 3 games. We'll include this in our wrap up. I'd also just like to say shout out to Chris, who after this week's display of going 3-2 against my 1-4, he has officially taken the lead in the overall picks prediction of the Same Shit Different Day podcast. You are up 16-14 because of that Michael Chandler 3-pointer put you officially over me by 2 points.
Steph Curry with the shot, bruh.
That's right. All right, so we'll pick these 3 games. We won't have an underdog of the week. That goes into next week, but that's okay. We'll at least have these 3 picks. We'll just have something to look at and keep the contest rolling. Unless you have one that is in these 3 games, I mean, you're going to have to come with some sort of underdog for next week. I'm thinking, so we got Thursday night, 7 o'clock on TNT, the national game, LA Clippers at the Miami Heat. Road game.
Yeah, that's easy, though. That's easy. Clippers all day.
Yeah.
Clippers all day. Yeah. Paul George, I know you don't like him. I know I know you don't be feeling them, but yeah, man, they balling over there, bro. They balling everybody out. Yeah, playoff P. Yeah, bro. Clippers over the Heat. That's what
Clippers over the Heat. Yeah, I mean, the Heat, they went further than any of us assumed they would last year, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like they've been up and down this year. I don't know. I like them, though. They're scrappy. I'll just play devil's advocate. I have no beliefs in the Clippers. I think on their schedules, that's a bit of an early game. I don't think NBA players like that. I'll go Heat just to go against you.
Right.
And it's in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers will have to travel. Clippers tend to be a team that rests on their laurels. Playoff P will probably be in top form, hitting the backboard. And even though the Heat have been up and down, I think Jimmy will have them ready to play it in a primetime game against a big team like the Clippers. Plus, I'll go down with a soldier like Jimmy Butler all day. About playoff P, pandemic P, or whatever they want to call him. Take Jimmy all day over a guy like Paul George all day. Let's roll on. I was looking also Thursday night, later that night on the TNT game. We got the Trailblazers going into Houston to play the Rockets. 9:30 on TNT. I'll pick first this time. I'm going to go Trailblazers I just don't believe much in the Rockets. In this game, I mean, Dame Lillard. I think CJ McCollum's still out, right? And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still out.
my man was having an MVP year too. That's crazy. It's sad, but I actually I like Melo to make a point in this game because I think he'll always just have a chip on his shoulder every time he goes to play Houston after what happened with that debauchery for 10 days over there.
All right, well, I guess on this one I'll go opposite, just I guess based off the same reason you went. Portland on the road. Dame Lillard's been killing it, and they ain't got much of too many options down in Houston, man. That's a sad team to watch, but they've been putting up numbers.
Oh, what happened to your man John Wall? I thought you told me they have John Wall.
He's pulling the John Wall. Very fashionable on the sideline. What do you mean?
I mean, that team was, I'm sorry, that team, everybody on it too, like Boogie, John Wall, all of them were literally put in the grave by James Harden in that post press conference before he went to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
he's just like, they're not good enough. These dudes in the back. Do you know who I play with?
Yeah,
they suck.
That was so great.
They were buried. I see nothing for any of them after that.
For picks purposes, I'll go opposite, bro. Rockets.
All right, well, I gotta try to get some points back on you anyway, but watch me be wrong again. I might have to just give it all up if I'm wrong on this one. But
True.
All right, so then rounded out Saturday night, we got the old classic rivalry. I figured this was a good one to pick. Lakers in Boston. Who we going with?
The Lakers have been killing it on the road. They've been killing it, period, but they definitely been killing it on the road. But the Celtics have looked different. So I'm gonna ride with the Celtics on this at home. Saturday night, prime time action.
Definitely. Listen, this is a debate for another day where I almost feel like we could literally, if you were opposing me, I'm not sure where you stand on it, but someone who was opposing me, I feel like you could have an entire podcast debating this. But I am a big LeBron James guy. To me, that's the greatest player of all time. And I did watch Jordan play. So stop. Okay? Because this Lakers stint is, don't you see what he's doing? He essentially gave you. This is what Michael did with the Wizards. So I'm going to go somewhere else from my last couple of years too. It's going to look weird seeing LeBron in this jersey. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to win championships. He's been great for so long. It's unbelievable. And don't get me wrong, he also has a tendency in the regular season to lose games that you shouldn't expect him to.
Yep.
This ain't one of them.
Okay.
He wants to be accepted, always has. I think that's his one flaw. The difference between him and Jordan, people talk about a killer instinct. I think LeBron has a killer instinct too. I think the difference is he wants to be liked. He's a compassionate human. Michael had no compassion. Yeah. LeBron is a compassionate human, and I think he wants to be liked universally. I think he wants to be friends with other players in the league, and I think he wants to be looked at in the public eye as a good guy. There's something to be said about that. It's respectable. But I think he also wants to be accepted by Laker Nation. And prime time Saturday night against the Celtics is a game that Kobe Bryant would tell you do not lose.
Yeah.
So I'm riding with the King. I love it. We did not talk about this beforehand or do it on purpose, but we went opposite on all three. So things are about to get interesting. But I'm with the King all day. Primetime game, he'll let one slip to like Memphis on a Tuesday night that, Michael wouldn't have let slip. That's why Michael went 72-10, because Michael came out at certain points and was like, I'm gonna just crush all of you. If I should beat you, I will. And if it should be close, it won't. That was Michael. LeBron will come out and be like, it's Memphis. It's Tuesday night in the middle of the season, game 43. I don't really care. And he rests himself a little bit for the long run. But that's also why he's been great for 17 years. So you got to give him something. You got to give him something, right? Wow. So I'm with the King all day. And yeah, those will be our three picks for next week. We'll review. We'll talk some UFC coming back up with the new fight night. And we'll go back over the Super Bowl. See if any other news has come up over the week, which I'm sure it will. Yeah, Yankees out here making a trade to the Red Sox. Man. Yeah. Must be hard to be poor. Mets out here getting everybody except for George Springer. Had to eat that one.
Yeah, what do you gonna do, bro?
Hey, enjoyed Toronto. Like,
Yeah, enjoy it. Have fun.
if anybody cares about that. Way to play America's pastime in Canada.
Oh, dude.
Loser.
Loser.
Hope you're playing for the hockey team up there. Anyway, but yeah, man. All right, well, that was a good one. It was a tough one. But I'm here. I showed my face. I feel like I showed up to the press conference after Conor lost the same way he did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure people are expecting me to cop a bunch of pleas, but at the end of the day, it's the fight game, man. That's what I love about it. Yeah, man. Well, I think it was a good pod, though, for sure. We'll be back next week.
Hanging them out.
Talk about a lot of shit. Next time, brother. Love you, kids. Later.